cards, no time limit, vanilla core set only version of Star Realms. And well, there's a classic opening deck where the Freighter and the Trade Row, and of course the Brain World. And get a little bit of reset.
Just a little reset. You just got to make sure it's okay. He takes the Imperial Frigate. What a great play! Just an outstanding play. Just fantastic play.
Yeah. So this game, this particular type of game is kind of tough, right?
Yeah, this is tough.
Sometimes these games the choices can be pretty automatic.
Missilebot Fighter here, if I'm thinking about it.
Missilebot Fighter to go with that frigate from before, so it's looking pretty good. He's going to try to hold Luke off of being able to catch back up with that Brain World by using discard. But at this point, Seto has not purchased any economy, so he's going to have a tough time if there's not a bunch of cheap cards out there.
Yeah, not only that, but the TheRealVoid got a Freighter. And that's halfway there.
And he's going double Explorers here.
Of course.
Yeah. Yep. So he's hoping to flip that right back into that. Look at that.
So close.
Not quite enough. In fact, he'll only have 6. And
7. Oh, with the discard. You're right. Sorry. Yeah. No, you're good. You were a step ahead, and I'm on the point. We got this.
Yeah. So he goes Explorer here, and that's I'm a little bit surprised by that. It'll be interesting to see if he goes Royal Redoubt here.
Yeah. AgentSeto didn't take the other Imperial Fighter, by the way.
He did not.
He didn't. He left that trade.
And there's the Brain World.
There it is.
This game's going to go really, really fast.
This is going to get intense.
Yep. So he needs to get that fighter at this point. I think he knows that. He's going to be grabbing the Blob Fighter as well to try to flail and do anything.
Or does he take an Explorer here?
Oh, well, maybe the Fed Shuttle, but I don't know.
Federation Shuttle and Blob Fighter?
I think he's hopeful. No, he leaves the Blob Fighter, but
interesting.
We can see here that Luke's going to pull a second deck Brain World. Probably the best thing that can happen to you here.
Hit that yellow button.
Seto's going to go for the Stealth Needle here. He's got to get that. That's the best hope he has, but he's in a rough way to start this first match.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Brain World is a really strong card, if not the strongest card in the vanilla set, and one of the top 5 cards, I think, overall in the Star Realms universe.
So Seto passes on the Stealth Needle. What do you think about that?
I don't.
Yeah, and yeah.
That's how I'm going to describe it. I'm not sure, man.
Okay, so this is going to be kind of interesting here. So Luke getting the Brain World here on his turn is going to be out of sync. So if Seto's got the damage to take out the Brain World, he'll put it in the discard, which will radically slow down the progress of Luke in catching up. So
because you aren't going to not use Brain World,
right?
You're going to use it, and so what we're seeing here is after he uses this, he's going to draw 2 cards. It's going to offset the shuffle, and then if we're looking at AgentSeto's,
look at this, he's at 8 again.
Look at that.
I mean, he's just going to go he's going to be a base madman here.
Yep, he's going to take the. Oh, he is. He's going nuts.
I'm a little surprised he didn't try to block that frigate. And we can see Seto does indeed have the ability to discard. And he really can't afford to pop that frigate and scrap it at this point.
That's one of his highest damage cards, right? He needs to keep that around.
Not to mention the fact that it's needed in order to take care of Brain World. So, yes, he's not only not going to do that, but he will pop this Explorer to get rid of the Brain World. And there's your favorite thing, your second favorite thing.
It's
Stealth Scout, TheRealVoid.
Yes.
This sometimes you pay for this early luck you get in the game when you get a Brain World, and but look, he's got a lot of cards to choose from here. Barter World, I think Space Station is where.
Well, all bases, right? All bases. Yeah. And that's exactly what he wants right now. He's got Brain World that's been cycling. I don't think he's really worried about much else. The Freighter's not going to be able to do too much here, but it does provide 4 trade towards that central office, which a central office behind a Brain World. Wow. That can get carried away. It sounds like you're a little bit hesitant on that.
Well, what I'm thinking about, the central office should be the card that he takes here. But if he fishes a little bit and takes something small off the table, he might be able to actually get a little bit of top deck action here and then draw that.
I see what you're saying.
So here, if he goes Fed Shuttle, he can take that, then draw that to just make sure he gives himself a little bit of an extra buffer.
More. Sure.
Yep. And then he throws this down. He grab the battle station, and he's cooking or the space station.
Sure. Yep.
So that's what I was thinking. I was wondering if he was going to do that.
Yep.
Oh, look at this! He's being punished for his
Stealth Needle. Stealth Needle's not going to do it, man. It's and you're right. I just don't think the repair bot can replace the Stealth Needle copying scouts. I don't think it can happen.
Yep.
AgentSeto doesn't have any draw that's going to end up cycling this deck right here, so he's going to be able to keep these cards for 2 times on the shuffle. But Patrol Mech and Ram for 10, and the Federation Shuttle, which is still kind of an interesting buy here. Not going to be able to do too much.
He's got to pop
he's short
that
of the cutter too.
No, he's he's going to let it go. I think
he's got to keep the damage. I think you can't pop that for cutter, but you don't want your opponent to have it. But you can't pop it for cutter. That's one. I think that is the highest damage card he has in his deck.
Now, does he go? Okay, so I'm curious to see Luke. Wow. Now think about what had just happened here. That Dreadnought turned up, and if Seto had bought that, the Dreadnought would have been out there and it would have been purchased. But now instead, it's going to get top decked and put into play this turn.
And put into play. Yeah, assuming TheRealVoid plays this. Yeah, correctly, which it looks like he is going step by step. Yep,
he's going to show you, and then of course, let's see if he pulls the Brain World out once he draws it.
That would be insane.
Oh, he does not get it, but
gets the faction.
Big punch. Yeah. Now,
Faction's Dreadnought on Space Station, and he's not going to be able to finish him this turn. And if we look at AgentSeto's hand, he's going to fight back a little bit here with a lot of discards. Yep. But Brain World, assuming he's going to draw Brain World here, doesn't mind if it's in the hand or discarded. So even if he has to discard 3 of these cards, I don't think he's too worried about it.
And Seto's really going to go nuts here, so he's going to force a 3 discards, of course, but he's going to pop. He has to. He's at 2 life.
Right.
So he's basically got to put everything out there. It's not really going to hurt Luke's deck at all because he's not so scrapped out that he has to drop a lot of value.
Right.
So it's nice to discard 3, but now he's got to pop both of these frigates and see if he can pull some kind of madness out.
I think so.
But there's nothing in his deck that's going to let him do that, and he doesn't do it. I think
actually doesn't do it.
I think he's banking on the chance that he'll get another turn.
Perhaps he looked. I mean, there's nothing really. He's going to be drawing in. He's going to have to get a little bit lucky, but he's drawing 2 cards. That one, I'm assuming Agent Ian looked at that and said that's nothing.
Yeah, that's true. And if it could turn out that he gets a base. Oh, well, he's just going to get a bunch of life.
He's going to get life, but unfortunately, if we look at Ian's hand, not really what he was looking for on the other side. And you got to think if you scrap out 2 Imperial frigates here, you actually have shuffled your deck at this point. Maybe you get something else on the other side.
That's exactly what I'm thinking, but notice how Luke is getting a little bit unlucky here. He is actually will be able to kill him off here with the space station.
with the unfaction damage from a space station, it's going to be enough to do it.
There is a term for this, Sam. It's called getting based.
It's called
getting based in the face.
And I think that's TheRealVoid's. I think that's his zone. He loves talking about bases. So
yep, and. So we know what's going to happen. Let's see what he does. If he's all classy, just drops it and punches him.
I imagine
he does. And so TheRealVoid takes down this first game here in the quarterfinals over Ian Teague, and they're laughing about it. They both know. They've both been in this type of game where it's a race to that brain world, and you're the lucky guy who gets it. And
correct.
Everything else from that point makes a lot of sense.
Yep. And I think Ian had a chance there towards the beginning. He was thinking about undercutting. He was thinking about trying to go for. He took the Imperial frigate right off the bat. Saw the scrap pop up. Took that after Luke had taken the freighter, and maybe he didn't want to take the Imperial Fire because he didn't want to commit to it, but that I still at the same time think you really could have just bought in on it.
I think so too.
I think you just kind of got to go for it. You kind of got to sell out on it basically and just say, I just got to go for this because you took a freighter. You're probably going to get Brain World before you shuffle your deck 2 times.
And at that point, you've really got to keep this guy off of that card no matter what. So if you actually... Maybe he wouldn't have factioned it, but maybe he would have paired it, and that would have caused a double discard, and then Luke would not have been able to get that Brain World on the turn that he got it.
Yeah, or I mean, Luke ended up getting it with a freighter and 4 scouts, right? So maybe a discard to get one of those scouts puts him at 7.
All right, so here we are again. Now this is basically a classic matchup here. You can see we've got the command ship. Anytime you start off with either the command ship or Brain World in the trade row, it tends to be a race for that card.
Yes,
and in this case. We'll see exactly what happens. So Luke's probably going to go back to his old buddy, the freighter here, and it will be interesting to see what's going on.
Yeah.
This
is interesting. So this is like the overlay. It seems to be. There we go. Oh, we're good.
Yep.
Good.
No, it looks like it's going to pop back in. So
rock and roll.
So Ian's going to have to sell out here on everything. He's probably going to have to throw down for the cutter. And
for sure.
And I think he's got 2 left. So yeah.
Wow.
Now
that's pretty good. That's pretty good if you ask me.
Yeah, I think that is pretty good. And what the the battle pod's there, and the battle pod's actually a really important card here because whoever gets it can probably hold off the other guy.
Yeah.
I mean, really what you want to do is just take the command ship out of play.
Right.
So in this case, RealVoid's going to definitely go towards, as you say, the bike.
Yes, the bike.
And he gets 7. Ooh,
so close.
Yeah. So I think Ian's going to really try to get the battle pod here so he can try to get rid of that command ship.
Yeah, I think he's going to try to get that. I think even taking the Blob Destroyer is going to be a great card because 4 for 6, I think the Blob Destroyer is just a really powerful damage card as far as the vanilla set is concerned, especially with only the vanilla set. 7 over here on the other side, I mean, what's he looking at? He's looking at Royal Redoubt if he really wants to go up there.
Yeah.
But I actually really like, as we're seeing here, I really like Ian's hand. I like Cutter, Federation Shuttle, Missile Bot. I think that's a really strong start. You have options to do whatever you want. You can go in any direction you want. Royal Redoubt is the take.
It's really interesting considering that the cards that Luke had there that basically Ian was willing to take the chance. He's like, look, if you're getting the command ship, you're getting the command ship. That's just all there is to it.
Right.
But of course, he pairs his trade fed cards here, grabs that stealth needle, and I think he's going to try to see if he can get back around in time to scrap that command ship, and he just might.
He just might. Yeah, we'll see. He's going to certainly psych out. Yeah, Scout Viper's going to go out here. Royal Redoubt's going to come in. It's going to be 10 defense that's up there, plus the faction for the discard. With the 4, does he just go in? Is it like Survey Imperial Fighter? Is it Corvette Imperial Fighter?
No, it's Corvette and Imperial Fighter and hope for something else. But I mean, at this point,
I mean, even the Blob Fighter's over there for one.
Yeah, but you know, he's not really looking at the Blob Fighter as being something he's going to be able to make a lot of hay with.
Sure.
He's going to throw the stuff away and rely on that big base wall. But you know, the most important thing is he did not have 8.
Right.
And so hopefully Ian's going to be able to take out that command ship. But even if he does, look at the fast deck that Luke's building here with the bases, with the survey ships, the Corvette. I mean, he's got a very, very formidable deck in this.
Yes, and there's food for the deck he's building out on the trade row at all times, it seems. Like AgentSeto is just unable to not flip him something that he's looking for.
Yep, and so now Luke will be taking down the command ship unless he goes crazy and wants to buy that Fleet HQ. But there's no reason for him not to buy that. In fact, I believe he can even toss off this Viper and still get it.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he's like double checking his math to make sure he's going to have 8 at the other side. Of course, he does.
Yeah,
I've been in that spot where I'm like, do I actually have 8?
You got to make sure. Count it. Yep. Do your counting. Count on your fingers slowly, just to make sure.
So now we're on a clock, and hopefully AgentSeto here has the ability to get rid of some of these bases, because otherwise it's going to be trouble. It's going to be trouble no matter what.
It is going to be trouble. I mean, he's still healing quite a bit. That's a great card to Stealth Needle. And 57 to 42. So even assuming that the command ship's going to be doing some damage, AgentSeto's kind of set up a little bit of a lead, and maybe he can use that cushion to make something happen. He's got 2 scrap cards. He's got 2 missile bots, I think. So
and he seems like he's thinking, I don't know if these are starters in his deck or what. Maybe he's wanting to see about the scrap, what's left. Okay,
more healing. 61.
That's awesome.
That's 61. He can't. But as not getting rid of the recycling station is a huge bummer.
Yes, and we've said even before that 2 recycling stations, also known as a poor man's brain world.
Yes,
and so it's a big deal. Love to see the way that Luke pulls and tugs on those cards. Of course, he's going to toss at least one of these to try to draw.
Yeah, and he's going to draw into the survey ship he just put onto the top, which is going to elicit another draw and give him enough at least to take the second bike, so he can be tandem cycling in his own deck.
Exactly. And all he has to give up for it is
he's going to take the cutter. He's going to take a cutter, too.
He does get the cutter, but he gives another cutter.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That was, wow. The Clone Wars.
Yeah. And I don't know what's left in his draw deck, but if he ends up with the command ship on the wrong side of his shuffle, that might open a door for Ian here. Now, I think Ian's going to have the battle pod. Nope. He did not have the battle pod.
No, it didn't. We are not seeing enough of that battle pod. I'm going to be honest. He bought that pretty early, and it is not showing up enough, it doesn't feel like.
Okay, so this is a great hand for RealVoid. It's always nice to be able to do that. You look at all that nasty yellow-blue combo.
Jeez, yeah, that's going to be brutal.
It's pretty crazy. He's trying to decide whether or not he wants that battle pod in his deck, and he's like, nope, but I will take these 2.
He does take the Federation Shell in the survey. I can understand the survey ship. Taking the Federation Shell to get there is kind of interesting, but he has 2 he's got command ship and 2 bikes. He's cycling 6 cards.
Yeah, it's
6 cards per deck.
It's pretty nuts. The only saving grace here is that there's not a lot of punch, so he's gonna catch up on the life gain. in the interim, Ian's grinding down here, one bit at a time. Up there's the almost useless battle pod here. Could not save the day when it was needed.
No. Probably takes another one though. I imagine you take. Yeah, I think you take that second one because the value's too good. Four for 2, and then a faction off for 6. If you can make that happen, that's well worth it at this point.
And it's not just that. It's that with knowing that Ian, knowing that Luke's got the freighter.
Right.
I'm trying to think of what the words are. Knowing that he's got the freighter, he can start putting things on the top of his deck, and so he's got to really keep him from that. So probably buys the survey ship here. Yes,
he keeps it going.
He just wants to keep this deck going quickly, and we've seen that Luke's not afraid to scrap out cards early if they put him ahead on the damage curve.
We haven't even seen a survey ship stay on the board for a couple turns. They are buying, both of them are interested in corvettes, survey ships, draws, cantrips, Star Empire. Both of them are kind of building similar decks. The problem for AgentSeto in this situation is the cards on the left side of Luke's play area here. They're starting to stack up a little bit. Combined,
if you will, with the fact that he's got that command center.
Command ship. Yes.
Yeah. So okay, so he gets rid of one, but this is going to be really interesting. So would love to see what Seto draws into because
it's gonna
because now these cards are going to be on the wrong side. Ooh, so that's likely to be a discard 2. He's like, well, let's see what I can do.
Okay. Wow. No big ships out there, so you got to wonder, does he think about fishing? He's taken Federation shuttles already. Does he take another one?
Yeah.
Cutter bottom decks?
I don't think so. I think he passes, doesn't buy anything here. I mean, he could.
Or he takes. He could take like Fleet HQ. He could take Blob World.
Does he have enough?
He's got 8 with the one on the trading post. He hasn't flipped trading post.
All right, you're not going to hear me say. You're not going to hear me say this.
I'm going to hear you say right now on the record.
HQ. I think.
Okay.
I think Fleet HQ is actually the good.
He took the thing.
Are you sure that he had it though?
Yeah, because 4 and 2, and then 1 and 1.
All right, so he'll probably pop this. And now the good thing about this is that 2 top. The real value of that 2 top is that it keeps him off of the shuffle.
Right.
So he's going to be able to take out the trash here, get a lot of health. By taking out the trash, by the way, we were talking about stranding some of your starter cards, your decent starter cards on the wrong side of your shuffle so that you can give a better chance to match up cards in the new deck. So he'll clear the bases, but I won't be surprised if Luke puts them right back into play.
Yeah. Or, I mean, he could, if he really felt obliged, he could just discard the survey.
So what do you think? Does he buy first, or does he essentially go right into the draw? I think draw.
I think you buy Missile Bot.
I think he draws because he's looking to he's looking to basically get as much of that benefit of that draw. So that's a little bit of a surprise for me.
He did the Missile Bot.
Yeah, no,
he did the Missile Bot thing.
Good job.
Yeah,
man.
he did the Missile Bot.
Good call. You called that. You called it.
But then he did draw. He did both. How would we both win? Can we say both?
Well, that's true.
Funny.
He might have actually ended his turn and not thrown the survey ship in there just so that he didn't have to deal with it.
Sure.
That was a move I pulled on Darklighter earlier in the series in the Legends tournament earlier today. Mm-hmm. But I don't I mean he's just so far ahead at this point. I don't know what he's thinking.
Their life totals are still so high.
Yeah.
43 to 55. Interesting. Like for me personally, if I ever see a survey ship that's factioned like anywhere past maybe 15 turns, which they're certainly past at this point, if I can faction off a survey ship with another discard, I will usually just scrap it out because 2 discard is like exponentially more potent than just 1 discard. And he didn't choose to do that there, probably because the life totals are still pretty high. He thinks he's going to have it come around again at some point for the faction.
That's right.
But cycling the bike here, getting his deck going, we're probably going to see a lot more bases come out.
And he's got a lot of draw, but he does not have a tremendous amount of scrap. So maybe he's trying to really make it work. But this turn's not going to be so great for him. He's not going to
missile mech to the top.
He's only going to be able to get rid of he can missile mech to the top, which is a great buy, and he could get rid of the battle station if he pops his trading post.
I think you have to.
Yeah, so he does not want to waste that damage. He's very efficient with the way that he deals combat.
I think Barter World and Trading Post are not scrapped enough for damage. I think people hold on, at least games I'm playing a lot of the time, even earlier in the game, for the momentum swing that can happen if you don't scrap it and you leave an opponent's base out for too long. I think it's a really smart play from RealVoid to get rid of that, knowing he doesn't. What value is the trading post really giving him at this point?
You're right. I mean, he's got a Royal Redoubt. He's got 2 recycling stations. He's got the command ship. I mean, he's got a very, very strong advantage here. But now look at
this healing.
Look at him
so
pile
insane.
on the damage and now a naked missile mech is a great thing, except when it doesn't 2-for-1 you the way that you expect.
Right. Yeah.
You know. So now what to do? He's going to draw. It's his next turn. Ooh. That was a little bit of a weird turn, but it doesn't matter. He'll still get into what he needs to get into, I think. But wow.
Tied up 43-43.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Now it's just going to be a slugfest.
It is. I think now we've reached the point where, okay, well, like, what's out there? Maybe a Port of Call, you could argue that that's a takeable card.
Whoa, the worst possible card that he couldn't gotten. Now, we will definitely see him scrap that survey ship this time.
I would imagine you have to.
Discard.
I imagine you have to.
He's got to.
But he didn't do the other one. Why would he do this one now?
Oh, man.
He does. Okay, there it is.
He's got to do it.
I'm glad he did. I'm very glad he did. I think that's a good play. And now we're starting
the command ship.
We're seeing the authority totals start slowly. They're moving their way down.
Yeah,
but they're still like what you might see somebody in a second deck have, for crying out loud.
Look at this. Look at this. A draw, 2 draws, and then 2 recycles. If he's unlucky, we'll know that the Star Realms gods think he is not doing well if he ends up drawing into nothing but colored cards.
So you discard survey ship.
I think
or you discard one of the bikes.
Discard survey ship.
Yeah, I think you discard survey ship.
Look at the authority total.
He got rid of the cutter.
He got rid of the cutter.
He got rid of the cutter.
Wow.
He did that. RealVoid's like, yo, guys, I'm at the table. I got this. Don't worry about it.
I'm wondering what he's thinking there. Why would he do that? Oh, well, maybe it's for this, so that he can.
He wants I think he just wants to draw. I think he's actually putting a lot of value into cycling cards.
I'm surprised that
the Imperial Freight.
Wow, look at that. So he'll probably buy the Port of Call here?
I think so.
Yeah. Probably buy the Port of Call. He loves those bases. Now, it'll be interesting to see if he pops this here. He's like, what am I facing? Oh, man, look at all that nastiness. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, does he pop?
No,
nope,
he's going to go ahead and keep
pop.
It.
And it's he's got to hope that Seto does not have a monster here, because he's.
I think the RealVoid might have missed a slight opportunity there, playing the Imperial Frigate and getting rid of it to maybe draw a second starter to get full value from the second bike.
That's what I thought. I thought about that, yeah, and I was wondering why he didn't, because he did have that one. He only recycled 1. And if we look at it here, if he had recycled those 2, then he would have 11, 10, 9 cards, which would have thrown him off. Shuffle, but I don't think anybody thinks that far ahead.
I think, and at this point, I don't even know if it's right to be thinking that far ahead. Like, he's just trying to draw cards. He put his cutter into his discard pile when he could have put a survey ship in. He was valuing draw that much, and yet when it came to that point, he didn't want to actually go that extra distance for it. Still ahead by 7 authority, still a close game. Just an interesting decision to look at, like, that strategy point for RealVoid for Luke.
And the real rough part of this is if Seto takes out these 2 bases, which it looks like he's going to, now he's going to have to play 2 hands here that really aren't going to do much. There's not a lot to buy. Now it's just about being punchy, and Ian's deck, Seto's deck, has got a lot more punch than Luke's. Mm-hmm. So he's not going to buy anything. They're just going to pass, and
We've reached this stage in the game, I think, in every game, where it's just back and forth, and people are just waiting. Okay, now this row's not something we want to take. Okay, we'll take from this row. Okay, now this row's not something we're going to want to take.
Oh, man.
How in do you go? Yeah. He goes in. I was just thinking it. Wow, he read my mind from the other room. That's crazy.
Yep.
He goes in. He knows. He's got him on the hold. He's looking at the cards he has left. He's like, I'm not worried about that.
Yep.
I'm not worried about that.
He's going to use his life as an advantage. He feels that the momentum is shifting away.
Survey
ship's
out
2 discards
sure.
here, of course. And here's the other thing about dropping those survey ships. He's letting go of that draw ability, that draw capability that this deck had every time he does that. So we'll see what Seto drops, but he could take the win right now.
Yes. We'll have to see, and that's game 3. If Ian can manage to put out 5 damage.
There it is.
There it is. Okay.
Wow.
Block wheel comes down.
What a match.
1-1.
That was
tied up.
That was really awesome. And, it's funny because you can look at Luke. Luke's like, wow, man, how did he come back?
Wow.
How did he come back? But Seto's, he's a champ. He's a legend.
That could have gone either way the whole time.
Yeah.
They were up above. I mean, we had another game like that was from I think that was the finals, maybe, where they were up, so the finals of the Legends series, where they were up in authority for so long, and then in about 6 to 8 turns, somebody won. We're sitting up here, we're waiting, and then just drop. Just the bottom falls out.
Yeah, it's pretty
what a match.
Crazy. Now, I wonder, when you look back at Luke's deck, do you feel that maybe he overbought a little bit towards the end there? Like, did he really need the Port of Call? Did he need some of those cards that might have slowed him down? He had a lot of extra bases, and we were pleased to see what he was building, but it never paid off. Was it just, did he get RNG'd, or did he overbuy a little?
I don't know what we want to term it, but there's this thing that happens with people in Trade Federation specifically. And Trade Federation, it just feels really good to gain authority, man. I think that's why Trade Federation is so many new players' favorite faction, because it's so pleasant to get authority. So he starts out the game taking some Trade Federation cards. He gets the command ship, and he bought, I think, 2 Federation shuttles in mid-game. And I think that kind of leans towards that idea that maybe he was overbuying. Maybe he was overbuying a bit but I think he was in the mindset that says, I can faction these off as much as possible, but the Federation shuttle doesn't really cycle the deck itself. It may heal you for 4, but that's it.
That's right.
It stops at healing for 4 in late game.
And you saw that missile mech. He had a missile mech, and he had one of those Fed shuttles. It was unpaired. He had nothing to play it with, and then Seto finished him off the next turn.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Not quite able to pull it out.
All right. Well, we will see how this goes down in the third. The third game. Yeah.
The third game.
There's a lot of close matches that we've been watching here, not just in this one cave, but all day here at the Game Fair.
All day, man. All day. Star Realms. I mean, and a lot of really good players, and I'm stoked. Like, all the matches we've had on stream have just been solid, incredible matches, and we're seeing such a high level of play. To see this level of play from so many different players we're putting on stream really shows you the state of the game right now. Like, I think the access to resources that are making everybody better, people more knowledgeable about the data inside the game, about what people are experiencing, is making everybody as a collective whole just better and better at the game.
You're right. And there's just such a great community of people around this game that are all about learning and sharing ideas. A lot of those folks came here to this event. Now we're sort of use that learning against each other.
Right, exactly.
But,
yes, exactly.
But, for folks who are interested in this game, there's a tremendous number of resources that you can find to get better and just learn how to maximize your performance of the game if you're that type of competitive player.
Right. Yes, exactly. So we're just working on one of the iPads real quick, guys. We'll be back shortly. But so it's a tied series. We have the other matchups, just so everybody knows. We can actually just drop down the quarterfinals for you guys, which was somewhere out here, I promise. I think. Oh, that's right. No, he ran away with it.
Yes,
so kidding.
We did not keep the. We did not end up keeping the.
This is why you get paperweights. They actually serve a purpose. You got to put them on there so you can see when people run away with your papers.
Yeah.
But the matchups are pretty intense.
Yeah, we did. Now, one of the ones that we called out earlier that we knew was Amanda Storm, who was the second place in the Legend Tournament, who pulled off that crazy discard 4 maneuver.
Yes.
She was going up against Nathan Yoakum, Oz Method from the Star Realms Digital app.
Right.
And Amanda Storm, Baby Girl.
Right.
And those two faced off. I'm trying to pull some of these from memory. We had a couple other folks, Vinny and Marvin.
I know Silent Owl, Alex Sarkisian was...
Alex Sarkisian has been really killing it. In fact, he had 12 points heading into the top 8, which basically meant he went 4-0.
Right.
So I mean, he got knocked out. He had a little bit of a rough exit from the Legends tournament earlier today.
Yes. Yep.
And he's brought back his A++ game.
Yes. He wasn't too pleased about that. And we actually, if you guys could probably remember that, the pretty hard double whiff on stream, unfortunately. So everybody was able to watch that, but.
Okay. Looks like we are ready to go for the third and deciding match here between AgentSeto and TheRealVoid.
Yes.
Luke Mars versus Ian Teague.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good match.
The Coker.
Let's just do it, man. Wow. And nothing to buy for it. We've seen the previous one Scout, two Vipers starting hands have at least had an Imperial Frigate, Blob Fighter, Federation Shuttle. Nothing here. And a cutter on the board. That's like insult to injury, man. Salt to the wound.
It's a double Coker. Okay, so he's going to take the cutter here, but both of these guys playing just 3 in their opening round. So
Two Freighter here, Battle
Mech. Definitely Battle Mech.
I think he's going to take Freighter though.
He might take Freighter, but
his mindset is the central office and the port of call. This is a Freighter's almost a guaranteed take for those because the minimum you can have in a hand at this point is 6. He actually goes Battle Mech. He proves me wrong.
I think it's Battle Mech.
He doesn't love bases enough to go that direction, I guess.
Well, maybe he's hoping that Seto will be a little inefficient, but he will not. He will take that Freighter.
Yeah.
He will probably pass on this Blob Fighter too. Now, if there's he's going to pass on that. Oh no,
he takes it. Nope, he takes it. Psych.
I wish that he had. And he also will wish that he had. So probably Trade Pod and an Explorer here. Nope,
Cutter.
Yep.
If Cutter shows up and you have 2, you usually know what you're taking.
Yeah, you do. But now it's going to be tough because Seto does not have that.
We've entered the Explorer zone, man.
This Blob Fighter, watching the play, I'm realizing I never want to touch a Blob Fighter again.
Not a fan of the Blob Fighter.
Especially watching what it's doing to other people's games.
Sure. I think in this situation, perhaps Ian didn't want to take it.
Look at this double whiff.
Man.
So Seto's got 4
and a
Viper. He's got nothing.
So we're in the Explorer zone. Here we go. There's the hit.
Now here's the interesting thing about this, right? So he's got enough to buy the Brain World, the Brain World next turn, and Luke definitely will not be able to get it, no matter what. He's got nothing but economy. I'm wondering,
does he scrap a Scout?
I would scrap a Scout. You can't buy anything.
Not worry about the Explorer. There it is.
Get that damage on him while you can.
There you go. Ooh.
So
he's just going to miss.
Yeah, he's going to miss, but he's going to get that central office. Maybe because he's lacking damage, he might even go Battlecruiser. But we certainly know that Seto will go with the Brain World for sure.
I noticed you skipped over the Fleet HQ there.
Yeah, Fleet HQ is such a conditional card, and look at Ian's next draw, that crummy card. Yeah. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I think this is central office.
I think it is central office. Okay.
So I don't agree with that one. I don't agree with that one. Central office is the second most powerful. I think central office is more powerful, in fact, than command ship, especially when it lives. Especially when it lives.
It is a strong card.
Yeah,
it is a good card.
It's surprisingly strong.
I could see, he gets a 5 damage cantrip that can scrap out on a base, which is the Brain World that his opponent just took if he needs to. So now he's got base control for sacrifice with 2 cards.
Yep, and now Seto's going to go for the central office, get rid of all of his Explorers. But look at that monster. Look at that monster in
there. You go.
Good news is that, is there good news here? Have we seen the Brain World still in his discard? Or did he bottom deck it?
So we've just seen them load a lot of ammunition into the shotguns here. Like they have both just stacked their decks full, and now they're going to start shooting out the windows at each other. We're going to see who comes out alive.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Ian, he ends up bottom decking the Brain World. Well, I can't recall now if he bottom decked it or because looking where it is, maybe he didn't. But at least he didn't get to use it before his reshuffle. So. Question here: would you pop for the chance? He's wondering if he's got the odds.
Right.
He's going to do it.
I think he's thinking about it. He's letting us know. Okay, he starts with the Battlecruiser. Now he has to go for it. Does he hit it? He does. Wow. He scraps out Battlecruiser and Port of Call for 2 draws, doesn't destroy any bases, and gets command ship. Worth?
I think. So here's the great part about this. Here's the survivorship bias. If he pulls this off and he wins, we're going to be like, oh man, that's so great. But I got to be honest with you. Is that a move you're going to make?
That is a
10 out of 10 times.
That is a gutsy play.
What did he get rid of to get that? He gave up a 6-cost base, which spares him 6 damage. He gave up a 6-cost ship to get an 8-coster. Does that seem right to you?
He did get rid of 2 cards for a card that draws 2. So he made as far as efficiency goes, his deck is way faster now. Yeah, but way faster.
The bigger problem that he's got is he did not have a chance to redraw that battleship.
Yes.
And now look, Brain World is going to survive. So he's going to scrap too, but now Ian's going to try to decide. I think he's going to go. He's going to fish a little bit maybe before. Nope, he's going to get the recycling station here.
So he's got. So yeah, central office comes up. Freighter. He can take whatever he wants. And the draw from TheRealVoid is not very good, unfortunately.
You know what? Now, actually, you want to know the truth. This might have been a time when I would take the Fleet HQ.
Right here.
I might have taken the Fleet HQ at the time when he brought it.
Get rid of Ram for the bike, maybe?
Yeah, I would.
Oh, interesting. I think he should have, to be honest.
But here's the bigger problem that he's got. He still can't get rid of the Brain World.
This is ridiculous. Yeah. I think AgentSeto might just have it at this point. Brain World's been out 3 rounds in a row. Now there's a central office out for 2 rounds behind it.
So this is going to be trade escort to top. He's going to start drawing through, and Seto's just going to start running the table here.
This is heartbreaking for Luke. Like, he's just sitting there squirming because that is so frustrating. To have scrapped out cards, to get cards that show up at the very bottom of your deck.
And so when we talk, think about this. If he bottom decked this Brain World, the only reason why he's in this position is because it was last. So next time that you're thinking about how crappy your draw is, think about the fact that Seto is very likely to win this match because of the fact that it was bottom decked and not for any other reason.
And because Luke top decked all his damage.
Yeah.
And at first hand we saw that really gnarly hand that he actually ended up taking command ship with, but then what's he going to kill Brain World with for 2 hands? Nothing. He's got nothing.
Yeah, he'll take it out this time, but damage is already done.
Is it
Seto discarding 2, and Seto at this point has almost lethal in hand. And he hasn't even played that command ship. He
full bottom deck.
The
bottomest bottomer of the bottom.
Okay, and so so now Luke's just got to solve this puzzle, and you know what the solution to the puzzle is? The solution to the puzzle is to put an Explorer on top.
Yep.
Because he puts the Explorer on top, he's got 5 damage after scrapping out the Barter World, then 2 damage to the Explorer, and he gets him.
Does he do it?
He does. There it is.
He sees it. He solves the puzzle. Going to scrap up Barter World, heal for 2.
And Ian will take this
round. Wow. Yeah. What a game. Are you kidding me? These games are nuts.
Now, remember what I said about scrapping out the protocol? It was a high-risk maneuver. If he hadn't done that, he would still have that battleship. He might have been able to remove the Brain World, even if he didn't have enough damage. And here's the other crazy thing. Port of Call and the Battlecruiser both have scrap to destroy target base.
Right.
And what was his problem? He couldn't
get through the bases.
Unseat that bases. Yeah.
Well, when we were talking about those buys, in the first place, we were mentioning that they were there specifically in place because they were responding to Brain World.
That's exactly
right. And then right before Brain World is going to get bottom decked and come out on the top, he plays both. Gets him out of there. Yeah, you got to think that the Brain World, even scrapping that Brain World, probably that port of call saves him a little bit of time.
Yeah, and you got to.
He didn't play the command ship. Command ship was on the very.
He did not even get to play. He did not even get the reward for that big risk. You got to feel for Luke this time, but that's Ian Teague, AgentSeto, and like we said, Hero Realms legend.
Yeah,
AgentSeto, Ian Teague will be advancing on to the next round.
Yeah. So we will be coming back, guys, with the semi-finals of this Digital 1K Star Realms tournament. So stick around, and Dustin and I will be right back.
Bring a scrap here for